Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is Cheap Seat Booking. We are back and the truth is out there, yeah, dickheads. Joining me today, we have our returning guest. Always a pleasure to have you, Jeff. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And we have from Cruising with Kayfabe, the elusive Miss Emily. How are you, sweetheart?
I'm good. Elusive.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, it's mostly because you're working when I do the show normally.
Oh my! I was just gonna say I'm always working.
Yeah, I mean, it happens that bills don't necessarily pay themselves, really. It's just one of those things that has to be done. Guys, it's been a weird week in pro wrestling. I had to talk about this. You know this. You guys are both part of this one of the group chats I'm in, and R-Truth is out there. Oh my God, is he ever out there? Lots of chatter about this. But before we get into that, last night, one of our favorites from AEW made her NXT debut. Mariah May, the Glamour. Don't know what they're calling her. Rumors that they're going to be changing her name. I mean, it's WWE, so sure, it'll happen. I think it's a great opportunity for her. Sure, it sucks to, not have her around AEW, not have that possibility of going on vacation with her. But I think going to WWE is probably a must because to me, it's a masterclass in how to work for TV. You don't often see that coming out of the indies, and AEW does have a lot of good talent there to help that. But from everything I've heard, you get through that performance center and you know how to work for a TV camera. What do you guys think about this? Em, it's your first time. Talk to us. I know you're a little upset about this.
So I'm only upset because I was so ready to see Club Venus. We have Mina coming in. We have all these things happening from the Stardom perspective as far as AEW is concerned. But on the flip side, the main roster just gained Julia and Stephanie Valcour as far as WWE is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like Mariah is a great fit for them. Don't get me wrong. It's just personally a former AEW world champion. I probably would have put on the main roster with people she's already wrestled and had history with.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't acknowledge her history. So it's so up in the air as far as like taking somebody into WWE. It's like I don't want to be like pooping on it, but at the same time, you should have recognized a little bit of her history.
That's been a problem with WWE even back when it was WWF, though. Like they just tend to, if it didn't happen here, it didn't happen. For the most part, every once in a while, something squeaks through, which, bless Corey Graves, because it was usually his fault that he did it. JBL used to squeak a couple through here or there as well. But I mean, I'm not necessarily a big fan. I mean, you can go back and say, oh, Kerry Von Erich's here, the Texas Tornado. I'm like, yeah, like why are you? And they ignore it. But to me, maybe it's just make sure she's camera ready, make sure she's really got that education. Jeff, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of those points. Because we were talking earlier, and it was mentioned that was her dream of professional wrestling was to go there. So that aspect alone is great for her. But, a little disappointed we're not going to get her. But like you said with your points, she is definitely going to learn the television side of the business because, you know, no matter what we all say, what we watch, the more any whatever, they still have the best production out there. I mean, they always have. Their stuff's second to none when it comes to that. So, like you said, for the television side, it's definitely going to be a good thing for her. She's still young. Get a few years in there, get established there, get that name out there. I mean, she could pretty much do whatever, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that really is what it comes down to is it's no matter how you cut it, former WWE superstar does translate into money when you start booking outside of WWE and you come out there and you're like, oh yeah, no, I know how to work for the camera. Don't worry about this. I got this. You know,
yeah. And add AEW women's world champion onto that when her tenure there. I mean, that's getting pretty up there too, as far as having credibility in the wrestling world. So,
and you know, and her time in Stardom as well. Like AEW is doing a really good job of bringing, you know, the Stardom ladies over. They've had a really good track record of quality when they come over, and it's getting them noticed. And you know, the more alphabet soup all over your resume, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Em, you're nodding along. You have no argument with that one, eh?
No, because I'm looking at it as I've heard rumors of NXT possibly doing something in the UK again,
Mm-hmm.
which would be good for Mariah to also have that. And it looks like a lot of the things that she'll be able to do, maybe she'll be part of Evolution. I would have debuted her there, but that's also because I know her history. So that's
Mm-hmm.
again where this falls into play is that I have to remember that she's just at the moment no one, even though she's someone.
You know what? That's absolutely fair. It's a much wider audience than, you know, Stardom reaches or AEW reaches. I know Eric Bischoff takes a lot of heat, and actually I kind of shut up his podcast off because of it, for calling AEW fans sickos, because we're pro wrestling fans. We don't necessarily, I mean, the Gaga and everything is cool, but we want the bell to bell is where the focus is. And she's great bell to bell, and the sickos out there can find Stardom, can find CMLL or AAA or Rev Pro, Defy. It will find it. It's the much larger casual audience that's there because it's the circus. It's Barnum and Bailey's. It's the Coca-Cola, the Kleenex, the Q-tips of the industry. And so now you have this much broader reach, especially with the Netflix deal. That's, I mean, they might not know who she is over in Saudi Arabia, or, you know, through Europe. So, I mean, great for her. It's a shame to see her go, as always. We don't necessarily like letting go of our AEW people because we have that benefit of we're willing to be those sickos that spend thousands of dollars every year to go on a cruise and hang out with them. So, I mean, more power to her. I hope she does well. You know, do that NXT and then up to the main roster thing, because to M's point, yeah, there's a lot of people she's got history there with. So they can look at those matches and go, you had good chemistry with Julia. You had good chemistry with so-and-so. You had, and just run the list and go through that, and everybody, the high tide. And then you get to the Alexa Blisses and the Tiffany Strattons and the Charlotte Flairs and the Becky Lynches as well. So, more power to her, as far as I'm concerned. Cash your check, get that common money.
I heard it was less.
Ooh.
Do we want to say that? Because I heard it was less.
I mean, that
it was a dream, I guess. So
that's how I see it. Is unlike Cody Rhodes, she didn't go for the money; she went for the dream.
Yeah, and
part with, yeah.
Is, you know, they do work off, they don't pay off the houses anymore with the guaranteed contracts, but everything I've heard, you know, the merch machine up there works, the video games work, and then I guess the bonuses are still available. So it's that downside guarantee, and I hope that's still the way it is, because you can come in for, say, and I'm pulling it out of my ass here, 350,000 is what I've heard. Now, heard on the internet means somebody typed it and I read it once, but 350 is the downside, the lowest and that ain't bad, especially when you start stacking merch money and, you know, good matches and good houses and everything on it. So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully she gets what she's got coming to her, and hopefully we get to see some really good stuff out of her, because it's all pro wrestling. Doesn't matter what spoonful of soup you're taking that day.
I'll be paying more attention to NXT.
Exactly. Yeah. It's another person to watch it for.
So,
yep.
They took away Gigi, so now I've got someone else to watch.
Yep.
Oh yeah, she poor Gigi, and then I guess
Free
she had
agent.
a bit of
Maybe we see her tonight.
Priscilla,
hey,
can we call her that now?
Back, thank goodness, Priscilla Kelly.
Yes.
And you guys, neither of you were on Cruise 1, were you?
She was on there. 2.
She was on 2?
2.
With Darby.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Darby didn't make Cruise 1. Yeah, she was on 2. She was. Was she wrestling on it, or she was just hanging out?
Yeah, she had a match, I believe, with Britt.
Because
that's where I first really got interested.
Right.
I was like, oh, who is this? And then I learned more about her through, I think, Chris Van Vliet.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
But, yeah, well, I mean, Chris talks to everybody.
Yeah, he does.
And he does some good stuff. Yeah, that's right. For some reason, some of these cruises, especially like the early ones, are a little foggy in my memory. Yeah, a little foggy.
4 and 5 blend really bad for me.
I have to keep some, like, you've seen some of it, Emily, how I am about some notes and different stuff like that, but I'll actually keep track of some of it, because it's like, who did I meet and who did I like do this and get my stuff signed by? You know, because sometimes you look at the poster and you're like, whose signature was that?
Yeah, no, we had the flag that Colt Cabana put on sale from the 4-Leaf Clover. I had to look. Yep. And if I didn't know who was on it, I wouldn't know who's on that.
Yeah.
There's certain ones where it's kind of hard to identify, and it was like, damn, that was several years ago. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, it was so long ago. I had something where I had to quote the first year it was the cruise, and I had to look it up, and it 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, yeah, no, that tracks, because it was part of my honeymoon.
2020 for us.
Yeah. And so it was it was a whole thing. And then the ongoing menace of that boat, the major troublemaker, always gets to me in my memory, and that's the drink package. So, you know, we've been through it before. It was nice meeting Mongo 3 years in a row.
I think we did. I think we had 2 years.
I think so, probably. Yeah.
I think we had an extra year too. So
yeah, and then I think the only one that actually got worse than me, and the only reason I remember meeting him, it was Dez, because he introduced himself to me 4 times a day for 4 straight days. But that was one of the ones that stuck. It's like Cruise 2, that's Desi. And it is what it is. Anyways, let's get to the root of the matter, the R-Truth of the matter. Wow, what a shocker this was. I don't think anybody flat out believed the initial announcement, because Truth is who he is. Everybody's like, Truth tweeted he just got released. And I'm like, yeah, right.
I found out when I came home from work. I was like, really? He's like, yeah.
Oh, so you didn't see it on the internet. You got it from good old Mongo.
Yes, the real news articles in my world.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Somewhat mine too, actually.
Yeah.
That's how I get actually a lot of it first, because I'll be coming home from work or something else, and all of a sudden it'll pop up, and I'm like, oh, hey, okay, well, at least I know what's going on. Thank you.
I'm not going to lie to you. It keeps me running on AEW some days. Like, I don't have time to watch this. I'm like, there we go. And thank you, Cruising with Kayfabe. Don't forget to check out Cruising with Kayfabe. Find them on the Facebooks, find them on all the podcast downloads and YouTube. It's fantastic stuff. You even see Jeff on there from time to time as they do their AEW prediction episodes, which are always fun to get in on. But yeah, so I didn't quite believe it. I looked it up, and then a lot of people got sad. I'm seeing a lot of sadness out there, and I think it's just from that segment of fans that are strictly WWE. They're bummed out. I saw this as probably the most shocking release I've seen out of WWE since Kurt Angle in 2006.
It's up there.
And a gift to anybody that is willing to go and find other companies. If you're one of those people like us that will watch AEW or New Japan, or, I mean, you guys are in a little bit more of a hub than I am to see all these indie shows and these cons. It's a gift to the world. WWE just gave us Christmas in June. And I'm loving it. And people are bummed out. And sure, okay, yeah, it's sad he got released, and apparently it was a contractual thing. They needed to free up money is the consistent story I heard. And a lesser reported, and so it may or may not be true, take it with a grain of salt, is they did offer him a new contract for less money and he went no.
I heard that too.
So, I mean, that's out there. John Cena apparently knew about it, which is why they did the Saturday Night's Main Event thing. And it was good to see that. That would have been a shame to not have that, to me, to not just wrap that up.
I want that action figure.
Yep. And although now that he's free, maybe you could do a run-in on Peacemaker. That'd be pretty fun. Yeah, right? Yeah, so Robert was out there. How's it going, buddy? Out in Kentucky. He was out there. He had to Google it to make sure it happened. And yeah, now my very first thought as far as what I would like to see him do is don't sign anywhere. Do a Matt Cardona. My big one is I need him to show up at that ECW arena. There you go. He's got the
nice
Matt Cardona not there.
Yeah.
Not there.
Yeah. That ECW arena residence that's coming up for AEW in Philly in the fall. I need R-Truth to show up there. I need him to walk in the door, talk to somebody. Maybe it's Chris Daniels. Maybe it's Big Show. Oh, you know what? It should be, maybe one of the ex-WWE guys or somebody that he can change the name to, be confused, like with the Rock and Roll Express or whatever. Maybe call the Young Bucks the Rockers.
Yep, I like that.
Just show up and go, I'm looking for Paul. His roommate Dave said I would be here. I need a job. I mean, that right there, it writes itself. What do you guys, right off the top of your head, your primary, what you want to see, what you would have Truth do? Go for it.
I want to see him come out during a ladder match and be told he's not in this match. Like somebody needs to be like, you are not in this match. And then he just like does his little thing and then he's out.
Interesting, because they do that casino, that casino battle ladder match thing. That would be good.
Any match that's like a gauntlet style, tournament style, like that's what he was known for in WWE. He'd come out and they'd be like, but Truth, you're not in this match. So it'd be really funny to have him like, but you're not here. You're not in this.
Come out for a gimmick match that he's not actually scheduled for. That was one of my head down, was that type of thing for sure, because he pulls that off really well.
Yeah, I mean, the confused Truth is exactly what we need. Jeff, what about you? Give us a scenario here.
One of them I heard was, and I was kind of thinking that way too, was the cons with the Tony and Nick thing, them coming out there, Nick, or something like that. I heard that a couple places too, and I'm like, that one is awesome. So
I didn't even think of that.
I thought that was really good. Maybe like a Lucha Underground joke, but I don't know. Can you do that? Does WWE own that now?
I don't know.
They were buying it, but I don't know because it's not. It's still. I can still watch it. Thank you, Alex. And
yes,
fun time, Tony.
Yeah, I mean figuring out that Lucha Underground thing was rad.
I've been watching it off and on.
You know what? Now that you mention it, with screwing up the con names, I think it would be fun if he screwed up the two Tonys in AEW. He was talking to Shivani like he was Khan, and Khan like he was Shivani.
That'd be funny too.
I thought you were going to say Tony Storm.
Well, he can.
You know what? Let's go for it. Trifecta.
That was a name I had down if he went to AEW. Because here, there was what I wanted to bring up earlier with you guys was, okay, so talking about where he can go and work and do this and that. So, so we have WWE that has WWE products, NXT, AAA, Evolve, but then they work with TNA, right? And then GCW has a very small thing with them, I guess. Okay. So we got all that. So then he's already done the TNA thing. He's been he's been an NWA World's Champion. He's had Charlotte. He's had Charlotte when it was NWA TNA. He's a 2-time champion, if I remember correctly. So
yeah, I believe so. And he won the first one from Ken Shamrock. So I mean that was
And when he also was Ron the Truth Killings or whatever.
Ron the Truth Killings. And also let's not forget that made him the first acknowledged black NWA champion.
American,
and I think that was 2002. Like that took way longer.
Hold on. 3 or 4.
Yeah, okay.
2003 or 4, I think. Yeah.
That actually almost kind of makes it worse because it took so long to get it done. But I guess Ron Simmons sort of won that world title when it was already WCW and not Crockett. So
yes, it was already. Yep.
Keep going.
Okay, so we got that triangle, which he already had. His only history that I could really find of him, serious, company and whatever else, was WWF, NWA, TNA, and then WWE. That's all you can. He did a little bit of some stuff, but not much. So it's like he can't really do any of the WWE stuff that I listed. So does that exclude TNA for him? I know their contracts are separate, but they do work with WWE. So could he like stumble into WWE like Raw and be like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be on Impact? Like, you know what I mean? I'm just throwing it out there because like, how does it work nowadays? I love it that I'm questioning it.
That's a good question. The inner workings of that relationship, it's had something in the back of my mind for a while because this all came about right after Dolph Ziggler had left and Nick Nemeth was now in TNA. So it's like, wait, we're working with who now?
Well, here, let me blow your mind even more now. Now we'll throw with the AEW side. So now we got AEW Ring of Honor, which they both also work with TNA. It's gotten less now since the WWE part of it, but they still do. But then AEW ROH works with New Japan. TNA works slightly with New Japan still, not as much as they used to, but every once in a while still, they still got guys, that come back and forth between all the companies. So then also GCW has a working contract that's probably slightly better than WWE's with them. Because people are going back and forth working all these stuff, the blood sports and the Joey Janela's and you know what I mean? So like, and then of course I looked into Pro Wrestling Guerrilla because he'd be great to do a Battle of Los Angeles. They're still on extended hiatus from 2024. So I don't know what's going on there.
Before I fired this all up, speaking of PWG, I read something where Matt Jackson was quoted as saying him and Nick are thinking about possibly purchasing it and restarting it. So
that'd be awesome.
That's completely off the topic, but because you brought that up, I just said, I was right there.
That'd be fantastic development.
Yeah, it would be. And then I thought, yep, there's Josh.
And there it is. Good old Mongo.
I looked up Chikara because that's a very comedy oriented in character. And I heard they closed because of pretty much COVID. And then, of course, Lucha Vavoom was another company in California I knew of. And I heard they're really not running shows that much. So I don't know. So, but there's my triangle of companies that are intermixed. So that is go.
Yeah, that is. I mean, talk about your alphabet soup in there. Like everybody.
Do we want to talk about Ring of Honor?
Yeah,
I love Ring. I was a huge Ring of Honor fan for quite a few years.
Well, does Reggie still work in Ring of Honor under the other? I don't remember his new ring name.
Oh,
Reggie was working there.
yeah, yeah.
Mike Bennett.
Mike Bennett, yeah, also
There's
good.
a few people that he ran into during his 24/7 run that he was very much intertwined with during that run.
Hmm.
Carmella no longer works for WWE, but she is pregnant with her second baby. So I don't see too much happening there, but you never know. Like AEW offers so much behind the scenes that people can do for them that you just never know where someone could come up. We've seen tons of our favorite indie wrestlers in the backgrounds of places. Who's to say truth doesn't just pop up randomly in TV segments?
And Mongo's
Ooh,
chiming in here.
NWA.
Sydney Akeem is
Sydney, thank you.
Redney's new name. You mentioned
Nice.
that, and suddenly I wish it was the COVID era, because could you imagine the old AEW setup where they had all of their extras and guys that weren't in the match just at ringside, and you just pan over? It's like, what the is he doing here?
And he could be in costume like he did before. Like there's
Yep.
so much stuff that he's already done that could be brought back just purely out of it's just that was our truth for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who is like with the Hounds of Hell? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yep.
So you have them, they were kind of like looked at like the Judgment Day for a little while. So what if you had a segment and like he goes to bring something over and it's Brody King and Brody just starts barking at him and he starts barking back? There's so many possibilities.
Fantastic. Yeah.
See, that's why I said you had to have her on here for this episode.
No, it was it was right in the forefront of my mind. If BTE comes back, because
Yep.
again, the Young Bucks apparently have had somebody in AEW upper management mention that. Oh God, yeah. I Are the Dark Order guys still employed?
They are, but I think they're all scattered.
Yeah, like R-Truth, and just think about like John Silver and like Johnny Hungy and R-Truth.
That's what I was thinking more
Yeah.
so. Yeah, Johnny Huggy. Well,
I think-
I know you want to throw this one out, so let's throw it out right now.
Yep.
Harley Cameron. I already know both of you want that. So
I think the world wants that, and those that don't haven't considered it yet, or that right there, TikTok gold.
That could be his
Absolute-
Carmella.
Mhm.
Exactly. Except
Yeah.
she's even goofier in some ways, and more fun like that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't normally see these backstage things run long. I would just turn the camera on there and go, cancel the next match. They're cooking. Just just let it go. And we could end up watching 90 minutes of those two backstage just doing it.
Danhausen.
Yes, absolutely.
R-Truth and Danhausen.
Orange
Oh,
Cassidy.
That was on my list too.
the
was on my list.
possibilities
The
are
Outrunners.
endless.
The Outrunners and R-Truth. He'd be like, because he could say all kinds of different people for them. And he was there. He wrestled in WWF.
Yep.
I mean, he can throw out tons of names because of those two.
Camden
So I think-
actually put out a very good possibility.
Okay.
Of course, I'm going to brain fart.
That's all right. We'll give
Someone
you a
who
minute.
messes up their names all the time. Who is it that already messes up their names all the time?
Nigel does it.
Nigel does it. Jericho used to do it. Just running them into Chris too would be fantastic.
I was thinking Y2J. It would have to be.
Yeah. Yeah, the old I mean that.
Oh, Black Machismo.
Oh,
That's who Cam wanted. He
Okay,
said not
there
Jay
you go.
Lethal. He said Black Machismo. That's who
That'd
he
be a
needs to
real
run
good one.
into.
Yep. I like it.
yeah. No.
It's
Keith
true.
is asking us how we feel. I think we're pro this. I'm pro Truth just showing up. I don't care what the letters are in front of it. Like, just let the man cook. Conventions. I like Mongo chiming in. If you hungry, dog, get a sandwich. Absolutely. His comedic timing, his his willingness, his facials, just you can't go wrong. And the man is 53 years old. I'm pretty sure he's a Highlander. Like I would, if I were him, I'd be watching out for dudes carrying swords around because that's the only way this man's gonna die. He doesn't necessarily need to be taking a bump. He looks phenomenal, but does he want to be falling on his ass all the time? Probably not. And he could just make hand over fist. Hand over fist. How about MLP and having a stare down with Scott, old Team Canada throwback? Yep. Let's do that.
Oh, he could do MLW or yeah.
You know, just bring him up to Canada. I mean, it's the wrong side of the country, but you know, that's fine. That's fine. As long as he's out there. I think just what he could put on TikTok and YouTube goofing around.
He already does TikTok really well.
Yeah. The man is set. Like he can write his own check at this point. I mean, he can do the Cardona thing and just hit all the indies, and everybody there would just be like, here's what we have. You just take what you want. As long as we can tag you and throw you on our YouTube, we can tag you on our TV, we can put you in our TikToks. The return is going to be phenomenal. Eyes are going to turn. It's a head-turning talent because with everybody so butthurt about him being let go and the fashion he has been let go, and we'll never know really until he writes a book. And even then, it'll probably have to be, you know, it's like a Triple H or somebody on the other side writing the other half of the story before we really get a view of it. But he's not one of these guys that's going to fade into obscurity. He's not going to Marty Jannetty himself, for lack of a better term. You know, Mongo's all over this today. Him and Max Caster. Oh,
I know. He should be home soon. He can jump in here once he gets home.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, hey, it's cheap seat booking. We watch out for run-ins over here. Somebody coming over the guardrail. Truth also has a side gig. He's a rapper as well. He's got his album. It's not bad. I mean, obviously he's a little too busy to be, you know, out doing extensive tours and dropping albums. But how do we feel about maybe Truth and Swerve?
That'd be sweet too.
As a duo. I mean, and I pulled this because, you know, Max Caster as well. Like the three of them in some sort of, you know, freestyle rap battle would be phenomenal. I mean,
that'd be cool.
Come on, let's just let these guys go. I am so excited for the date that this contract runs out, and hopefully he wants to just get right back out there while the iron is hot. But again,
Truth and Nana.
Truth and M gets it. I mean, it is one of the things I say all the time when I'm watching.
I mean, look at the gold he could have with them too, because he knows all of them already. Besides MJF now, you know, so he's got a ton of history with those guys. So
the frustration he could cause with MJF. Put those two together and just MJF does MJF stuff, Truth does Truth stuff, and all I see is MJF slowly turning purple and getting frustrated. Like just losing his marbles over this. Yeah, it's just I can't.
Oh my gosh, guys, what if he pinned Okada to try and do a 24/7 title on the Continental?
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
I like that one.
There's so many like awesome possibilities because they do have I don't think they have too many. They do have plenty of titles that you could easily just like pull a fast one.
Yeah. I mean, and you mentioned it earlier in some sort of gimmick match, a multi-man gimmick match. I mean, who's to say that, you know, he runs down and, you know, instead of it's the ladder match for the Continental title, he runs down, he pulls the belt down and gets it. And that's when, you know, backstage, it's like Chris Daniels going, you weren't in the match with them, but I got the title, dog.
I was thinking that with Dustin and stealing it from Sammy and being with Dustin, be like, "What's up, Goldie? With a chance,"
Yes.
because he can't say Gold Dust, but he can say Goldie.
Yep,
I was thinking of things like that because there's tons of plays because you got like he could say Sasha, he just can't say Sasha Banks. You know what I mean? He can say he could call FTR. What was it? The Mechanics.
I
don't know. Is that their trademark?
Yes, the Revival
or the Mechanics. Yeah, they're you just even screwed up.
Evan,
he was the Revolution.
He could see Matt Seidel and call him Evan. Stuff like that. That's the ones I was thinking of.
You've been born.
Or something, you know what I mean? Because he can play on it.
I mean, he could walk in looking for Kenny Shamrock to have a rematch, and it's like, no, it's Kenny Omega. It's Omega.
I like that one too.
It's not Shamrock. The possibilities are so endless with this man, and
then on Independence, he could get with Ken Shamrock.
There you go.
Excuse me.
I mean, all the interactions he could have on the indies. Wow. It's just we have Defy that's just across the border from us here in Vancouver. They mainly do the Seattle sort of Pacific Northwest area. And I gotta say, if R-Truth is on a Defy poster, I'm coming down. It's happening. And like they get Swerve shows up there regularly. We see the clips on that. Kenta was their champion for forever. They have good product. I've seen some of their guys do dark matches when I've gone down to other AEW shows. I mean, R-Truth will be here. Ron Killings will be here, whatever you want to call them. And I Truth is in town. That's a ticket seller right there.
Yeah.
Get a bigger arena because you're going to need it.
Yep. I mean, I don't like talking about it because it's so far out there, but BRCW down in Florida, that they've been known to bring in some pretty high profile guys down there. We saw Matt Riddle right after his release show up at 1 year before the cruise, and it boggles my mind. I don't think I'm alone on that. The possibilities of R-Truth.
For me, I want the independent shows because he is from Charlotte. So I feel like we will get maybe like FWE runs the Dorton Arena again, and we could see him come to the Dorton Arena where we've had a bunch of other ex-WWE guys. That's where we did meet Ken Shamrock, Ricky the Steamboat, Kurt Angle was in there. They had Kane, everybody that he could do one of those funny run-ins and use it for TikTok, use it for YouTube. The show could use it, he could use it. There's so many like independent possibilities. We have DPW. They go to Charlotte. They go to a big enough area in Charlotte that they could do a show with him and it would already be accommodated. Like there's all these fun things that you can see happening and still like I want to fantasy book him still at WWE with other people because it's just hard not to imagine that he's possibly not going to go back.
I mean, I think he's going back for a Hall of Fame at the very least.
Has to.
I don't know if I need to see him back on like a Legends deal or anything like that. I just want to see him cook. Like RVD has just somehow figured out a way to thread through whatever he wants to do. And I'd like to see that for Truth. It's like, yeah, okay, you can have me for one night here and you can have me for one night here. I'll come in for a week here. And I'm just going to come in and do Truth things. And that's really what I keep saying it, but that's all we want.
Is his contract up? Sorry.
No, I think he's got a couple of weeks left on it. Fun time, Tony. Thanks for joining, buddy. Yeah, I think there's a couple of weeks left. Him and Carlito are both sort of just been told, yeah, you're done. Carlito, again, another guy with great comedic timing. I'm probably more upset that Carlito got released than I am about Truth, just because Carlito didn't pop up as much that I saw, at least. But I'm way on the other side of the continent from you guys. And again, another guy, comedic timing. He can do whatever he wants to do. He's, obviously he's great in Puerto Rico. He can stay down there and do what he needs to do. He knows a guy, to say the least. But as far as I know, they're both just sitting it out. And Valhalla, Sarah Logan as well was announced as. That's the one that actually bothers me, because I think she was sort of a victim of I got pregnant. You just and got released because she hasn't been around for majority of her contract, because she's been having babies. But we won't get into that right now until there's a little more information on that. But that one I instantly went, that's a shit move. Because that's what it was. She was out because she was having babies.
Maria Kanellis had the same thing.
And so did Carmella, apparently.
Yeah.
They Carmella's household is still getting paid by WWE, so she's probably not going to open her mouth about it, even though her husband has been known to open his mouth.
I was going to say, I think it's I would love to see Corey Graves move over to Ring of Honor or AEW as an announcer. I was hoping actually he would get fired. And I've never hoped for that, really.
But again, it's the same thing as R-Truth. It's like, yeah, it sucks that you lost your paycheck, but I'm pretty sure you're going to land on your feet. I think Corey Graves was probably the best thing that happened to their announce table since Jim Ross, or no, Taz. And I liked JBL's style as well. I thought JBL did a hell of a job, but Graves could very easily come in, and it's AEW, so there's a 75-man announce booth some weeks when you factor in Don Callis running out there and the
Tony Storm,
whoever is just out there doing their thing, whatever wrestler they want to bring down, they're not hurting for it. But ROH would be interesting. I could see that.
Even R-Truth on commentary would be kind of like, I wouldn't need it every match, but he would be pretty great on commentary.
That would be fantastic. Just have him again, super confused, or maybe he's been running around backstage, and there's an old story about how Captain Lou was pissing off Bruce Pritchard, and Vince had also pissed off Bruce Pritchard. So while out on commentary, and I believe it was a pay-per-view, Vince ended up with Captain Lou there because Bruce told Captain Lou, Vince wants you out there to help with commentary. Go now, go quick. And just to have that sort of backstage deal where somebody is annoyed at Truth, and it's like, no, they need you out on commentary right now. And then have the announce team, Shivani and Taz, everybody just being really, really confused as to why he's there. And it's just, he's doing Truth things. And I could see Shivani being confused and Taz getting frustrated and Excalibur not knowing what's going on. And right now, that may have just jumped to the top of my list of shit I want to see him do. So what else? We're getting close to about our 45-minute mark. I don't want to go too far into the full hour because we do have a lot of AEW on tonight. So let's get into it. The one thing that we've avoided talking about it, we've mentioned it a couple of times. I wanted to save this. R-Truth on the Jericho Cruise. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it.
Book it.
Book it. Give the man a vacation. Every time there's
comedy.
Hey, it's not like he doesn't know Chris. He could rap too.
Yeah.
Well, and that was actually just brought up here somewhere. There it is. Keith has chimed in. What about a rap battle between Truth and Swerve on the cruise? Absolutely. I think
that's sorry. I think that's something like Cruise. Was it 3 or 4 that gave us like all the extra talent because we couldn't disembark?
4.
I think
before.
that was like a bonus for us. I think that
Yeah.
having all the extra talent, it spoiled me. I don't want to see anything else now. I'll stay on the boat if I can get that.
Yeah, I mean, if they're willing to put extra stuff on instead of us getting off at port. Now, that being said, that last port, I think we can all
was
agree,
awesome. That was awesome.
phenomenal. You know, Cozumel was pretty cool, but that last port. But yeah, I mean that the year that we couldn't, because we had to take like the water taxi thing into the private island, there was weather concerns. So yeah, just they scrambled and they gave us all the entertainment. If you could give us something like that, in the past they've run movies and stuff for people that didn't want to get off. But yeah, give us like some actual entertainment. Now, granted, some of the talent probably wants to get off and see some of this stuff, or maybe just take a break because we're all pretty cool. I like to think, but not everybody on the boat is somebody the talent may want to sit down and have a beer with. Let's just put it that way. I don't want to. So, but yeah, Truth on stage doing the Mad Libs thing with RJ City or the improv games, or just interrupts Brad's 15-minute set.
Well, and he could come out for Fozzy and be like, "Oh, dog, I thought I was supposed to be doing that thing with Swerve."
He just comes out, "What's up?"
Yep, and they're like, "What are you doing out here?"
Yeah,
they're singing Judas, and he's "What's up?" and
I'm here for it.
Yeah, Chris and Fozzy will bring guys out for it. I mean, Chris actually again stole my gimmick and started doing Killing in the Name with Swerve last summer, I think it was. Did a couple of shows. They did Killing in the Name like that. He stole that from Cruise 4 when I did it with Cheeseburger.
I remember. I saw a video of that.
Yeah, that video exists. There's a couple videos that I'm okay with people seeing. That's one of them. There's a few videos and photos that I would prefer didn't surface.
If my face is red, please don't share it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or if I am looking at the video and realizing I did a thing in front of a camera for the first time, please don't show it. But that's okay. That's just me. And again, troublemaking drink package. So, I mean, what else? I mean, Truth just interacting, running around the boat.
Oh,
he needs that 24/7 title.
Yeah. And
I'm pretty sure to make an appearance in some capacity if he's on the cruise.
What if he just brought his own?
I'm sure he could very easily. It's got to have some type of form of it. He's held it 50-something times.
I can hear the 6-man. It's like the force has cried out, fuck. Because that belt, I mean, for those of you who've never been, I have not been a 24/7 champion. However, that 3 or 4 years in a row, I guess it came out. I didn't see it in the last cruise. I think Em and I were talking about this the other day. I don't think it made an appearance on the last one, but it was always about day 2 or 3. Some drunken idiot gets the belt confiscated, but that just got passed around the boat for a couple of days for 2 or 3 years at least.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, something like that.
To see R-Truth walk on board and have it, the groan, the collective groan from 6-man is just ringing in my ears already. Because we're not responsible. And then you give some of us freedom to just go to the bar whenever we want.
And get two of them.
Well, you know what? You and I have done that walk a couple of times. Like the atrium bar is busy, so run down to the casino. It's nobody's there.
Or anywhere. There's plenty of them. Magnums if they're down there and it's open.
Yeah. So what on the cruise? What else would you sign R-Truth up for? What are you thinking?
Bingo.
Karaoke.
Drunk spelling. Everything. Can we just get him everywhere? Him and Garcia.
Oh, he could do a run.
Sorry, Matt. I didn't think about it. I didn't even think about it. It just flew out because I was singing karaoke.
He could do a run in with the girls dance troupe there and dance with them a little
Oh
bit.
my
Be like,
God,
oh,
yes.
and be like, oh
Yes.
man, what?
Oh,
Be like, oh man, damn girl. And be like, oh, I'm gonna go out here.
I don't know. This last group, can we get the Vaudettes back?
I don't know if we
yeah,
are.
the Vaudettes, I think I preferred. Now, granted, I had several dad moments on these cruises because we do bring children every even year. But my very gay youngest daughter racing from one end of the boat to the other to the point where she almost knocked me over to get to the dance troupe. I was just like, okay, cool. Oh, I can't with this, but at least I know where she is. And our buddy Robert was down there anyway. So I'm like, cool. She's at least with somebody that can defend her if necessary. But yeah, I wasn't a big of a fan of that last. I can't remember their name even, but the Vaudettes were
I
rad.
missed it, to be honest, but I
Yeah.
heard things and I saw videos.
I watched.
Not my thing.
I watched.
Yeah.
Rachel and I watched probably. I don't know. It was like half hour, 20 minutes of it maybe.
Mhm.
And it was the Atrium show. We were up top and we got some food
Yeah.
while we were sitting there too. And I mean, it was all right, but yeah, I mean, I was good with the Vaudettes. I mean,
Yeah,
this trip wasn't bad, but they are just a little bit, a little bit more risque and
Yep.
some of that, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, I'm all right with it, but I can see how it definitely could discourage certain things,
Yeah, I because maybe I'm not the only one that brings kids. I'm sure,
Well, yeah, I mean, they have Cam, so I mean,
That's why I wasn't there.
yeah,
right.
I took
yeah,
Cam
I
elsewhere.
yeah, I'm
Exactly.
sure at some point Cam would have gone blind because somebody's cupping his eyes and like, nope, off to it, no, we're going.
He
Or
honestly
not.
though, like he did see the Vaudettes when he was like 8, and it wasn't anything bad at that show. It was the Stardust show where there
Little Miss
wasn't enough
Nasty.
bad. Yes, I think
Little-
Tony loved it. Don't
I-
quote me, but
I-
Tony.
I could see how they could appeal to a lot of the crowd that's on there. And like I
Yeah.
said, they weren't bad. And, some of it was
Yeah,
sexy
no,
and hot and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but
I didn't
It's
mind their
just-
music choice either. At one point, I was using the restroom outside of Spinnaker, and I heard Pantera, and I had to like, okay,
They
what are
had
we
some-
doing? What are we doing?
they had some rockin' music. I will agree.
Yeah, but yeah, fun time, Tony. Definitely you took in that show, didn't you, buddy? And there's nothing wrong with that because, like I said, my kid turned me into a bowling pin to get down there. That's where my life was that day. I was like, where are you gonna? Oh, okay.
But
Okay, yeah.
could you imagine R-Truth coming out there and like grabbing onto the thing and
Oh,
dancing or
100%.
doing something and then being like, oh, hey, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Tony.
Oh, 100%. Just I don't even think he needs to do one particular thing or like just
walk
do
out there.
just interrupt everything.
But subtly.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Be
he
a
would have to
referee.
give the sail away toast to me.
Ooh.
I would say that's the one we have. Give the toast with Brad and whoever else.
That'd be fun.
Now, generally, it's reserved for a former world champion, but could R-Truth be our $100 photo guest of honor? You think he's got that kind of a credit?
Yes.
I say, yeah. That's
If he's ever gonna, yes. If he's ever gonna have the credibility to do it, yes, it would have to be now.
yeah.
If they were gonna do the photo for the $100.
Yeah, and that's a whole thing. Like I would sign up for that just to see what happened, what comes out of his mouth in the 15 seconds I get with him.
I'd do it.
And somebody
do it.
please take video of the whole thing for me. I
Emily,
don't wanna-
would you guys group it again?
I was just gonna say, yeah, can we group that? Because
Yep.
I kind of like having. I know, Matt, you do it as well, where like you join up with other people for the pictures. I enjoy having those memories.
Yeah.
Like we had Brian with us one year, we had AJ with
Mhm.
us another, with Holly,
Yeah.
we've had Jeff and Rachel. Like
Mhm.
we just love going through getting your autographs and pictures with other people because I think that builds more of a memory as well.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I've only ever paid for one photo on the boat, and that was Liger because
Same.
it was I mean, I've long said there's only 3 people in the wrestling industry I would pay to have a photo with, Sting, Bret Hart, and The Undertaker. And I never said Liger because I never expected it to be an opportunity. The second that one dropped, I was like, oh.
Yep.
And then, by the time it goes on sale, our exchange rate has gone through the roof. And I was just lucky. As another friend of mine was, Sid, was just saying, oh, I'd like to get the Liger photo, but that I'm like, if it was half price, would you do it?
Yep.
So we did. And Liger was cool. Doesn't speak much English, but he was cool.
Yeah, he was super nice. I mean, the picture we had with him, he's got Cam all hugged up, and
yep.
I mean, it's like, holy shit! I was like, wow.
I don't even know if he knew what Cam was doing, but he got that charisma.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Cam
is
Rachel and
fantastic.
I did Flair and Angle. We did Flair and Angle. It was one of them. We had never met him, and one of them things where I was like, well, I'd like to do it because I don't know if I ever will.
Yeah.
So that's why we did those two, but we didn't do Mark Henry.
Not the big show. I got tempted for the Big Show just because I wanted to be able to stand next to him. But I was the Mark Henry year. He was right behind us going through security in the airport on the way home. It's a big dude.
Yeah, he is. I saw him at the bar that year.
Yeah,
he was having some drinks there, and I'm like, oh shit, he's a thick ass motherfucker.
Because he was behind us in security, I actually ended up with his talent badge.
Oh, sick.
He was going to throw it out, and our friend Sarah got it for me, and he autographed it for me. So, I mean, that's
awesome.
That was pretty. He was very nice. He was not having, like, he had a broken foot that year. Like, he was not having the best time in the airport, but he was still very nice to us. And that was cool. And so much we could talk about. We start talking about the boat, we go right down a rabbit hole every time.
Every time.
I mean, we did it yesterday on my dad's podcast about hockey. So
kinda. I mean, we didn't get too far off tangent, but a little bit.
We did good.
Yeah, we did it. So last thing here, we got the last couple of minutes. Anything we haven't mentioned that pops in your head as a fun R-Truth moment out in the world? M? Oh no, Jeff, you got your finger.
You gotta go first.
I'm gonna call an audible.
I don't have a fun one, but I have a point that I forgot to bring up earlier that I wanted to bring up. When R-Truth left, what was it? Was it NWA when he was leaving there?
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to go to Mexico, and he was going to go, I think, to AAA, and NWA screwed him over and wouldn't let him go down there, and then signed with him to wrestle down there and work. So then he ended up finishing out there and then going to WWE. So what if he wanted to fulfill that Mexico dream and go work in, I don't know, I guess CMLL, since, AAA thing. But I was thinking, what if he did that?
Yeah.
As an opportunity, just because he never did it.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it. M, anything?
So I'm so glad Mongo's not in here. It's been a while since we've had a wrestling wedding.
Oh.
So he did show up at Mike and Maria's OBGYN appointment for the 24/7 title. He did show up at Drake Maverick's wedding and honeymoon. It has been a long time since we've had a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Just saying.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, my last little note on this is kind of along the same lines as Jeff had. R-Truth hasn't really got a whole lot of the international stuff going on. I'd like to see him to show up to some company in Japan or Mexico or Australia or Europe and say he's in the wrong country. Show up to CMLL and say it's great to be here fighting for the NJPW Intercontinental title, but it's the sushi here is weird and spicy, or vice versa. Say I'm down here for CMLL, great to be in CMLL, and I went to get this weird taco and it was all rolled up in seaweed, and just stuff like that. Like, just really really mess with the whole dynamic because we buy it. We do.
What if he comes out? Also, what if he came out and did that and was just like, nope, I'm Ron the Truth Killings, motherfuckers.
Yeah, what
Oh,
if he's just like,
Says
this
fuck the
is
funny
me?
shit and just goes, I'm gonna beat some motherfuckers' asses for a while.
you know what?
Then-
That's an
And
interesting
then,
concept.
you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, everybody thinks this and wants to see this. Well, I'm gonna completely change it and just go serious character. I'm going for the heavyweight championships. Like, I ain't fucking around. I had
Yeah.
to fuck around for 17 years.
You know what? That's a very solid point as well. I mean, just do that whole
I'm there for
flip
it.
the whole script. I mean, and that right there, a very serious Ron Killings that is looking for gold and, you know, looking to put an exclamation on the end of his career. Because let's be honest, he's 53. That does fit with the Hurt Business.
And they go out on their own terms in AEW.
Yep, they do. They get that shot at the very least. So hopefully, you know, they don't get injured. But I mean, as far as that goes, Sting tried his best to hurt himself for 2 years, and Copeland's actually succeeding in it. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for being here. It was fantastic. I that really helped me get all of this out with. I know the text chain got fucking long for a while there. So glad you're able to join us, Jeff. A pleasure as always. Emily, I got to do more of these when you're free from work.
Yes, I get out earlier
fantastic.
and earlier, so we'll get this.
I got an idea. Instead of having myself and Mongo or any facsimile of us, you have Rachel and Emily on with you.
I would love to.
I don't know if that's ready for that. We're pretty
get the ladies
together.
with you.
No, honest to God, that is one of the things I like about the Cruising with Kayfabe when you guys do the speculation shows for the AEW pay-per-views. I love listening to you and Rachel. I would love to have Rachel. Like, I mean, you guys are great, especially when like you both have this way of going, what are you talking about?
Yep. Yep. And we don't agree most of the time either. So
yeah,
I think I like that the most about all of our dynamic is that we all, at the end of the day, like we're all wrestling fans, but we all watch a lot of the different products. And I think that that's to all of our advantage as far as the fans go. We aren't people that just watch one company. We truly watch wrestling.
I mean, it's like going into the ice cream shop. It's all ice cream. You just pick your flavor. And some people only want one flavor. I wish they would stop telling everybody else that it's the only flavor that's worthwhile.
Right.
There's more than just vanilla.
Exactly.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's yeah. You know, there's so much other stuff. Maybe we want gelato too. Like let's sort it out.
Sorbet.
But you know, it's like some guy said, it's all pro wrestling. Dickhead. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this, the At the Inn Studios network, as I am slowly rebuilding that whole thing. And, of course, Cruising with Kayfabe. Fantastic stuff. Great time. And I kept hoping that we'd just get Mongo sliding in the background real quick. But I guess traffic
must not be home. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well, I did that little recreate that AJ Styles Undertaker moment with him and Mongo. Thanks, everybody. And remember, it is all pro wrestling. All of it.